agree with some of the things that you guys have said. Well, everything you said, but that her cooking was amazing. It really was. And they would call us, and Ralph would usually be the one calling, and he would say, Pastor, you guys are coming over today for dinner. Celia has cooked this, and you don't say no to that. You break plans, you do whatever you need to do. You want to get in there. And you're like, okay, brother, I'll see you. And I know Javier spoke of the chocolate chip cookies, but the macadamia nut cookies, those were like special for the Super Bowl. She would make those at Super Bowl time. That was amazing. One thing Ralph taught me, and you guys are, and Kenny kind of alluded to this, or spoke about it. When you look at Celia and all the love that poured out of her, I know Ralph had a lot to do with that as well. I know it's her upbringing and everything, but Ralph had a lot to do with that. He taught me something one day, many years ago, and I hope you remember, brother. We were talking about couples and about marriage, and, I always thought it was 50-50. Ralph said, stop right there. It is not 50-50. I was like, okay. I've been taught wrong, but go ahead. You're older. You can scold me and tell me whatever you want. He said, Pastor, it's 100 and 100. You both must give 100.
Wow. Come on.
I was like, okay, I like that. That makes sense. I can't argue with that. And then he says something that just blew me away. He said, Pastor, it's like I have a bottle, and it's filled with sand. And I pour sand into it, showing my love for her. He said, but what I did was I took out the bottom so that I'm always pouring on the top. I was like, okay, that's amazing. Stop teaching me, because I got to get to that level. That was wonderful. And I will say something about Celia, but Ralph, one last thing. When you think of marriage, you think of love. Ralph was there and held her hand to the end. That is commitment. That is love. He was in that wheelchair. He was sitting there. He didn't care about himself. He didn't care what happened. He said, I must be here for her. How can you argue with that? Now, about Miss Celia, besides loving and caring and praying for me, she would grab me and say, Pastor, I'm praying for you. And I love that about her. But one of the things that made me feel so comfortable around her is in 2005, my mother-in-law passed away. We were going through a tough moment at the time. We were still in Connecticut, and my wife didn't have a mom. And